welcome! Do we like the background? I don't know. This is what I was thinking for the background anyways, for the most part. Let me know. What do we think? How are we liking things? I am testing out a foundation this week that I'm very excited to test out because I did like Charlotte Tilbury's initial, was it her very first foundation? The Magic Foundation. Really liked that. Well, now she has come out with the Airbrush Flawless Foundation. It says it stays all day and night. Well, I will be putting that to the test. Ping! This is $44. You do get 1 ounce of product. It's getting pretty good reviews so far. Pardon my cats. If I counted correctly, there are 44 different shades available. I went ahead and got the shade 3 Neutral, so hopefully that works out for me. I feel like in the bottles it doesn't look like this goes very deep, but based on the models that they used with each of these, it looks like the foundations cover a pretty dang good shade range. But this is supposed to be a long-lasting, weightless, hybrid skincare foundation. It's going to give us a flawless, poreless looking, confident complexion, which right now, I mean, mostly confident I am. Oh, that grammar. But I've got one of my Quasimodo moment happening on my eyebrow, so that is really fun right now. Either way, it's supposed to be full coverage and have a matte finish to it. But they do claim that this is good for all skin types, which does have me a bit skeptical, and by a bit, I mean very. Product is also vegan and cruelty-free. The ingredients that they highlighted are ones that are going to hydrate the skin and also reduce the appearance of wrinkles, excuse me. It's also got air cool to it, which provides an immediate fresh feel on the skin, which, hey, I'm, as a very hot-blooded person, I'm excited to see if that actually feels like something or if it's just a bunch of hocus pocus. 'Tis the season after all. But they do claim that it's going to be a hydrating, lightweight formula that is also sweat-proof, humidity-proof, waterproof, and transfer-resistant. All things of which I am very excited to test because while the weather is starting to feel like fall here, it is still quite humid, and I've still got a bunch of cleaning I need to do at my old apartment, so I will be putting it to the test with humidity and sweat and all that lovely stuff. They do specify to use a brush with this foundation, but I do think that's also just because they're shilling their own brush. I'm going to try it with a brush and a sponge, but they do say that a little goes a long way, so good to know. I will be testing with a no primer as per usual for this first day of testing. Oh yes, let's get a closer shot of that lovely. Oh, it's just so painful and it's like making my eyelid droop. It's just always on my mind. Isn't that a song? You were always on my mind. I feel like it was always on like old commercials where they would be selling a romance CD collection or something. Anyways, so here we go. As always, Charlotte Tilbury bringing it with the packaging. She always does a great job. I mean, I think her packaging is gorgeous. It's very reminiscent to me of Estee Lauder, their old stuff. Like they used to have lipsticks with this on it, and so maybe that's why I like it so much, but it's a nice frosted glass bottle. It's an oval shape, and yeah, I give it a good shaking here. It does feel very nice in the hand, the oval. Sure. No, I was expecting a pop, but hey. Now let's see. Got a pump, and I feel it. It's gonna work. Yay! So they say a dime size. This is maybe half a dime, I would estimate. It smells like it might be fragranced, which for me is always a bummer, but we'll see once I start buffing this in. Yeah, no, definitely fragranced. It's got a nice like fruity shampoo kind of a smell, but I just personally would really rather that foundations and skin products didn't have a scent because my skin is very obviously troubled most of the time and I don't need fragrance adding to that troubledness. It smells very good, but it also feels like I should be lathering this in my hair and not rubbing it on my face. But from this distance from the mirror at least, it looks like this is doing a good job at covering stuff and evening out my skin, yeah. Bam! That's beautiful. Really good job of evening things out, but it looks really natural and not cakey, at least not yet. Let's see, we'll go ahead, eyelash off my nose and see if we can cover up my buddy Quasi here and his other little friends. Indeed, it did. I honestly think brush side and sponge side look pretty much identical. Obviously got a bit sheerer of a finish on the side that I used the sponge, but overall I think that looks lovely. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and see if I can build this a little bit. Oh heck yes, that was able to build. I mean, that pretty much completely covered up blemishes on my cheek and my forehead, took away redness. I do think with it layered, it looks a little bit cakey for sure, starting off here, but I'm hoping as time goes by, it will mix with my oils, hopefully, and look a little less cakey. That's typically what happens with matte foundations, but overall, I think it looks nice. It looks like I'm wearing a foundation, but I think it looks like I'm wearing a nice foundation. So yeah, there we go. There we have it. There it is for now. It feels lightweight for now, but we shall see as the day goes on how it continues to do, and I'm excited to take you guys along with me to see how it's doing. So I will see you all for that in just a second here. Ready? Ding! Oh, my friends, I am scared to look at my face right now. So I just got back from cleaning my old apartment, which like work I sure did for about 3.5, I think, almost 4 hours. Had the foundation on for about 6, maybe 6.5. We're just gonna say 6 for now, but I noticed anytime I went to swipe off some sweat, and by swipe off, I mean I'm always very gentle with it, you know, patting, I can see foundation coming off on my hands, so I don't have faith that there's much left on my face. I will say it has felt quite lightweight. It feels like I'm wearing a sweaty foundation, but a lightweight sweaty foundation. Truth be told, it doesn't look as bad as I thought it was going to. It just looks like I'm wearing a sweaty foundation, really. It doesn't look too terribly splotchy or anything. So, I mean, that's a plus. My God, I am seeing the green around my neck from my necklace. I don't think anyone ever thought I was wearing real jewels. But let's see, let's do a little swiperoonie. That's what I was talking about. Yeah, so I'm gonna call it a day for this testing. I mean, I just don't think we can test it much further since it's just, I'm all sweat. I need to take a shower is what it comes down to. So I'm gonna go and get the green off of my neck and the sweat off of my body, and I will see you all for further testing in just a second here. Ready? Ding! Oh, my friends. Oh, my friends. So some of you have an idea. I was about to say you have no idea, but some of you do. If you follow me on Twitter, you have a slight idea of what I'm probably about to be foreshadowing, but essentially, it's been quite the week. This foundation has been tested through many a circumstance, and I am here, I am alive to tell you all about them. My God, okay, so you saw how things were on day 1. Now day 2 was when things got real fun. I tried it on day 2 with my Smashbox primer as well as my Milk Makeup Concealer, just so that I could use a smaller, nope, not the right word, a lighter, thinner layer of foundation on top of it to see if maybe I was just using too much on the first day, etc. Either way, once again, it went on beautifully. It was definitely still buildable. I used a brush and a sponge like before. Like I said, really enjoyed the finish, just like I did on the first day. However, the foundation started feeling a little bit heavy and noticeable, so I guess I wouldn't say it felt heavy, but it just felt like I was wearing foundation at a certain point when the humidity really hit my skin. It has been so humid here in Minnesota, just redonkulous. It's been very annoying, but this foundation did claim that it would stand up through sweat, humidity, all that stuff. But even though my foundation was feeling really greasy and whatnot, I thought upon first check-in around the 4-hour mark that it just looked kind of dewy and fresh, honestly. And it did have minimal transfer on my finger and blotting sheets. However, there was a little bit of transfer, just to be noted. And then, this is where my life took a bit of a turn. I will go into this in a video very soon for you all. Oh, what a journey it has been. Either way, health problems. I went to the ER that night. Definitely not planned, definitely not fun. Was in some of the worst pain I have ever experienced in my life. And so I didn't really get to check in until very late into the night after going through many rounds of intense nausea, which meant intense clamminess, so that kind of a nasty cold sweat, and just overall ER times. That's what the foundation went through. So at about 13 and a half hours when I got home before going to bed, I checked in real quick. I was not gonna let this foundation test go to waste. Darn it, just because I have to have a semi-emergency surgery. Darn it. At the end of the night, I was super duper oily, but honestly, I didn't think it looked awful considering everything that I had been through. There was still, again, slight transfer onto my fingers if I touched my face, but overall, like I said, it had been through a lot, and I thought it looked pretty darn good, all things considered. And now on day 3 here, I tried it out with my Guerlain primer, hoping that that would get rid of some of the transferiness of the foundation. It went on beautifully once again today. I was able to get the buildable coverage. I just really do initially think it has a gorgeous, gorgeous finish to it. Upon my first check-in though, I'd gotten home from doing some catch-up doctory things, / getting some work done, / grocery shopping to prepare for the coming time that I'm gonna have to spend at home eating nothing but probably vegetable broth. So my grocery shopping, I'll be going into a whole video on this, but it was raining today, so the foundation had been through that. It definitely was looking dewy again. Maybe I'm being a little too kind. It looked pretty oily, but I went ahead and blotted. It had a lot of transfer though on the blotting sheets, so that was kind of a bummer. But I went ahead and wore it the rest of the night here. I was just editing a video and getting stuff done, like I said, to prep for this time out that I'm going to have to take from YouTube. Hoping to get some stuff prepped so that you guys won't have to feel like you miss me at all. And yeah, here at the end of the night, I mean, things look fine. I mean, all things considered, since I've just been like sitting around, I'm really not too terribly greasy, so the transfer isn't really happening when I touch my face, just like the slightest, most minimal amount. But that being said, I think that is where we can get into the pros and cons on this foundation. Let's talk about it. For the pros, I do have to give it credit. Application is very beautiful on this stuff. It has nice buildable coverage. It really does look just gorgeous on the skin when it's initially applied anyways. I love the finish of it. It's a beautiful matte, like a very skin-like matte, but still has a radiance to it, I guess. It doesn't look cakey and dry. I also will say that even though it has been transferring and everything, I do think that it wears gracefully or fades gracefully, that sort of a thing. Yes, it transfers and everything, but it's not like you have big streak marks going across your face from where you might have accidentally touched your face or whatever throughout the day. However, that is where we are getting into the cons of this. First and foremost, it's fragrance. What the heck, Charlotte Tilbury? What the actual freaking heck? I hate that it's fragranced. It's too fragranced. It is potent. It smells good, but my skin doesn't like it. I can already tell you. I am already starting to see some forehead pimples that I am pretty sure are because of this stupid fragrance in this foundation. It is just, it's too much. I don't know why companies do that to their product. Like, we would rather have a stinky smelling chemical foundation than a nice smelling shampoo-y smelling foundation, because it's just, it's not good for the skin. Next con is definitely for those of you who also have oily skin like me. This does get very oily, greasy, dewy, whatever you're gonna want to call it, looking very quickly with pretty minimal effort, but especially if you live in a humid or hot climate, this is not humidity or sweat proof in the slightest. At least I don't think. Not only does it look greasy, but it also then ends up transferring because of that, even when you're not greasy. I mean, right now I'm not really that oily at all, and I'm still getting that slight minimal transfer onto my fingers, so this stuff is very transfery, at least on me. So yeah, overall, I mean, as much as I like the way that this looks initially, it does look gorgeous on camera. A lot of you have given me many compliments in the couple of videos that you've already seen me wearing this foundation. You really like the way it looks on camera. However, I just can't get over the cons in this. The cons far outweigh the pros, at least for me. But as always, I just hope this review was helpful for you all in seeing how this foundation wore on my face, what my thoughts and experiences were. Galileo must have just had a poop because he is having an after poop type of moment in the background. I apologize. We will wrap this up here though. Like I said, I hope this review was helpful for you. Definitely let me know in the comments down below if you have tried out this foundation, what kind of skin type do you have, and how did it work for you, good, bad, and different. Also, as always, let me know what foundations you want to see me test out next here on my channel, or just whatever videos you want me to film here on my channel. I love hearing from you guys and getting your input in the casserole comments down below. You can also let me know if this video was helpful and or enjoyable by giving it a thumbs up down below. I would really appreciate it. And if you are new here, hey, hi, hello, how are you? You can go ahead and subscribe. You can tippity tap that notification bell down below. You can become a member of my casserole family here on my channel. I would love to have you here. And as always, I just hope you guys are all doing well. And until next time, just stay well until then. Bye!